Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Now in this video I want to talk about 3 things that I stopped doing to become a profitable OnlyFans management agency owner. And looking back at my own personal journey, it's these 3 things that had the biggest impact on my OnlyFans agency. And these 3 things, if you skip this video, you're going to go through them anyway. So you might as well learn these things in advance so you can quickly fix them instead of learning them the hard way. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So the first thing I stopped doing was taking no responsibility. Now I hop on calls with OnlyFans agency owners all the time. Being my own personal consulting business, I get to speak to over 35 plus OnlyFans management agencies doing anywhere from 5k all the way up to 100k a month. And I was able to speak to them, and basically, they come up with the same issues if they're around the 0 to 20k a month mark. And it's the lack of responsibility. You need to take full responsibility. So if you hop on a call with me and you're talking about, oh yeah, this model, she's not making content, or this model's doing this wrong, or my chat is doing this wrong. No, it's your responsibility. Why did you sign that model in the first place? If you signed a bad model, that's your fault, because you went out into the market and you saw that model and you saw all the red flags to begin with, and you still signed her on as a client. So it's your issue and it's your responsibility to fix that. So if you're dealing with bad models, then you need to take a look at your model recruitment system and say, why are we signing bad models, and what can we do to improve the quality of the models we're signing? If you're saying anything about a bad model, that's what we need to be looking at instead. And if you're looking at, well, the chat is not performing, then it's an issue again. It's your responsibility. Don't put that burden on the chatter. Either the chatter's bad, you need to switch the chatter out, or you haven't given the best systems, structures, SOPs to the chatter in order for them to perform the best, or you're not supplying enough subscribers to the model's account. So take full responsibility. If there's something going wrong, don't blame it on the model, don't blame it on the chatter, don't blame it on this, don't blame it on the market, this, that. Your responsibility, it's your fault. And as soon as you make that shift, then you're going to experience, full accountability and full responsibility, and that's going to change the game for you as the actual agency owner. Now, the second thing I stopped doing was I stopped looking at the smaller picture. So when there's issues coming up within the agency, for example, not getting content on time, or if there is a particular issue with the model and the chatting dynamics, so the chatter said this and the model didn't like that, I stopped looking at the smaller picture of that individual situation, and I looked at the bigger picture, as in, why is this happening in the first place? So maybe if a chatter is saying something wrong on the model's account, maybe that means that you haven't properly spoke to the chatter and you haven't given them the set structure in terms of what they need to be talking about, or you haven't actually given them proper guidance on how to manage that model's particular account. So maybe you need to come up with some sort of pre-onboarding system where you actually speak to the chatter. This is the exact chatting style you need to have in this account. So if there's an issue within your agency, don't look at the smaller picture. If you're getting bad quality leads or you're not getting enough leads, don't look at the small picture, look at the big picture as the agency owner. Okay, so what system isn't working here? What system do I need to improve? Because looking at these systems from a bird's eye perspective, you're going to be able to see how these all feed into each other. And if they're feeding into each other not in an efficient way, then you need to take a look, take a step back, restructure that actual system, rebuild it, improve it, and then try again. So stop looking at the smaller issues within your agency and instead take a step back and look at the issues as a whole in terms of, this system isn't performing well, let me work on this particular system. And finally, the third thing I stopped doing was I stopped being reactive. So the idea of proactive versus reactive, you need to be proactive instead of reactive. If there's an issue popping up and you're just constantly just reacting to these issues, you're going to get stuck in a cycle when you're stuck making 10k a month, because you're just being reactive to the issues that come up. Instead, you need to be proactive and look at things in advance and kind of predict the sort of issues that may come from particular elements. So profitability is improved by improving efficiency. if you're not profitable as an OnlyFans management agency owner, then that means that you're not being as efficient as possible. Maybe you're not being efficient in the way you get models, maybe not being efficient in the way that you onboard them, not being efficient in the management or promotion, but taking a step to be proactive in, saying, okay, I need to have a professional onboarding system before I get this model onboarded, because if it's not professional, then it's going to create a lack of trust. So proactive, identify potential issues that could come up, list actual 10 issues that may occur throughout your agency, and then proactively resolve each of those issues by implementing either a structure, a script, a system to actually resolve those issues in advance. So proactive versus reactive. Proactivity beats it every single time, and being proactive as a business owner is really, really important, because you can't be just sitting there responding to these issues, resolving those little issues, and then you're going to have more of those issues. You need to predict those issues in advance, because one small issue could affect the client relationship, and it's up to you as the agency owner to nurture that client relationship and to make sure that they're going to be around for the long haul. You don't want to be signing a model on for 3 months, because you're investing your energy and your time and your resources and your finances in growing that model's account. So the last thing you want to be doing is growing these models' accounts, and then issues are coming up, and then you're then having to deal with the issues, and you lose that client account. So you need to be proactive. You need to, do things in advance before you actually come across those issues, because by the time you come across those issues, it's too late. So proactivity every single time. And it's those 3 things together that personally gave me the biggest shift. And I want you guys to take this video, really analyze what I've been saying, and start implementing it for your agency, because I can guarantee you implement these 3 things and you will catapult your earnings. So without further ado, I'll speak to you guys in the next video.